am many things. Late is one of them. 10 days late to be precise, because I'm just lazy and I constantly forget to do things. And also to remind everybody, I do in fact work a day job, meaning that when I'm late to things, it's usually because of the fact I just didn't have the free time. So that said, as the title of this says, there's a new Pokemon game that got announced and is coming out next year, and I am going to resume to be part of the problem. So yeah. We're going to talk about that then. We're going to do this a bit weirdly though. First, we're going to watch the trailer like straight up, and I may have to mute it. I probably won't. I don't know. We'll figure that out in the, I'll figure that out in the posting process more than anything. And then after we go through the trailer and watch it, then we'll slow down frame by frame, analyze, talk about some things, you know, try to get an idea of what's going on in this trailer. Basic analysis, because you know what? I want to talk about more game trailers on this channel. This is a game streaming channel. I should talk about games more often, you know? I should actually do that. So, that said, hello, hi, welcome. This is a bit weird to say because I'm not reacting to something made by somebody else. This is, in fact, an official trailer from the Pokemon Company. So, like, comment, subscribe, you know, do the usual YouTube stuff. There isn't really anyone to support this time. I mean, unless you want to support a multi-million-dollar company, but, I mean, we're not here to make anti-capitalist jokes. That's not my territory. Anyway, let's get watching. Let's get watching so we can talk about this. Anyway, some things did not go right initially, but it's fine. Okay, we're on the side. We're all here. We're good. Okay, everything is set. We are good to watch this trailer and then yada yada do what we gotta do. Anyway, let's go. I will say, I'm not, again, because I do want to talk about it, I'm gonna pause it every now and again just to try and deal with, you know, the usual issues that we would call copyright problems. So I will pause like every few seconds and then we'll talk about what I pause on, but then we'll do more serious analysis after. That's it. I'm just pausing real quick. I want to talk about the fact that it's kind of cool that this is a live action shot. But yeah, not actual gameplay footage. No, obviously, this is obviously a live action shot. We get that. But we will talk about these in detail because these are very obviously based on different generations, and we'll go over them after the like whole initial thing just so we can get through it. But yeah, no, this is cool. This is cool. There are so many things I recognize. Realistic Pikachu jump scare. Oh god. Okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? We're just gonna have to start and pause and do all this other stuff. But you know what? No, we're reneging on the concept. We're just gonna go for this, and I'm just gonna yap. Okay, never mind. You know what? No, never mind. We're reneging on that concept of the start and stop of the watch full. So what? Okay, we'll just go over this. Okay, we'll just go over this because it's not like I haven't seen the trailer. So what I like about this is obviously this is going through like all the different generations, right? So we have like start. This is probably Vermilion Forest because where else do you find Pikachu's in Kanto? Yada yada yada. Then we have Gen 2, where oh god, it's been so long since I played any version of Johto that I forgot the name. It's the town where Ho-Oh's Tower is, because you can tell right there, you can't see my goddamn mouse. But, you know, we have Ho-Oh's Tower, we have the Umbreon and Espeon, because I got introduced in Gen 2. This is just me yapping. This is obviously Hoenn, we got Kecleon, we got the Bike, we got the Pokeblocks, we got Swablu, all that good stuff. You know, we got that. This is a very specific, again, it's been so long since I played some of these earlier generation games, I forgot specific routes. I know what route this is, I just forget its number, because I know the long-ass bridge with all of that on it. So yeah, no, we're just gonna kind of go look at this. This is obviously Gen 4 by progress, that's Mount Spear, Mount Spear? It's Mount Spear, yeah? I could be wrong. Starlight, you know that. You got the little cabin up in the northern part, obviously. Then you get Gen 5 with the deers representing the seasons, the Ferris wheel, and the big-ass motherfucking bridge. Got all that good stuff, and then obviously we have Gen 6 with Lumios, represented, which, hey, you know, we also had Legends of the Air recently, with the tower, all that other stuff. Gen 6, and then for Gen 7, we're wrecked, of course, by the beach with the Alolan and Raichu, the beach and that stuff, and then we have the trial marker. I think that's what that is. The corner, that's like the trial. Yeah, you got the Z Stone, and we have like the trial marker thing. Then obviously Gen 8 is going to be represented by this. We have the wild area outside the Dragon Town, Curry, Dynamax, all that stuff, all the good stuff. They're going through the previous generations, and obviously we have the Academy, which has a different name depending on the version of the game you get for Gen 9. Obviously, all of that. And then that naturally leads us into what we now get for Gen 10. This. God, I'm just going to have to put background music over this because we're not even going to bother. We're just going to, like... Editing me is going to hate this, but hey, editing me, you're going to have to do the background music thing. I know it'll be playing by now, but yeah. So... we have the interesting things here. We have these two Pikachus with the tourist Pikachu, Mr. like Pika Wind and Miss Pika, and I think it's like what, Mrs. Pika Wave. I don't remember their names. I nuked my Twitter recently, so I'm also not going to be checking that for any updates because I'm taking a break from that for like a month to let the account like nuke itself and whatever. I do think this is fun because we'll talk about it a bit as the region goes on, but obviously we have like, you know what, I'm just going to lower the volume of this a bit now. I should have done it sooner. Oh boy, I'm just going to have to abuse the fact there's multiple audio tracks, but I do like that to represent the new region and stuff because the new region is seemingly based off the Southeast Asian islands. So we have the two Pikachus as tourists, which is a very interesting concept, and I do want to know what they're going to do with the Pikachus. Oh, the Tail 5 is cute. Anyway, let's get going properly. Because now we got plenty more to talk about. Not representative of actual gameplay, screenshots and footage are from our product and development. Yeah. Okay, first off, though, let's talk about this. Yeah, it's not actual gameplay footage, but the water effects. They're putting their whole ass into these. Like, just off this initial impression of what the graphics look like, they're putting their whole ass into the way the environments look in this game. Like, hey, we have new hardware on the Switch too, let's use it. Like, art direction-wise, off my initial impression, the art direction in this game looks top-notch. Pokemon, let it be said, graphically, Pokemon may be a little behind the times, you know, whatever, but its art direction has usually been pretty solid no matter how much the graphics occasionally have issues. The art direction here, though, looks stronger than ever. Like, let's be said, this game looks good because its art direction is on point. Frickin' Tropius, my boy, my frickin' big like, I do like this. Like, we have what is clearly tropical environments. Now, we'll talk, okay, we'll yapping. Let's keep going. Tailored, all that stuff. We have this, like... Oh! Okay, yeah, I didn't take a closer look at this in my initial watch. So this looks like the resort area. Maybe this will be our hub zone? Maybe this will be our hub zone for the new region. I don't... That's the volume control, but it's mute. That's not frame by frame. Yeah, so... Maybe this will be like our research zone / like main area, because obviously everything looks pretty spread out. My guess is we're probably going to be on islands, if I had to assume, because if it's based off Southeast Asia, then it's probably going to be a bunch of different islands. And okay, I want to look at the environments, obviously. So we have like our main central hub. I'm going to assume this is where we start from. Then we have like other buildings. It looks like a mix of like normal houses and research centers, if I had to guess. I don't know. We can't tell yet. And we have our protagonists. Okay, so interesting thing that we found out from Twitter posts that came later, and again, I'm not gonna be able to dig them up because again, nuked my Twitter account. Is that the default outfits for each protagonist is different based on the version of the game you have. This one with the cowboy / bush hat is for Winds, And then the Walmart employee looking ass fit is for Waves with the blue and the ball cap and everything like that. I do like our protagonist designs, though. I do think our protagonist designs now are actually pretty good. Like, off initial impression, I like how we've dialed back from the whatever the hell was going on in Scarlet and Violet with trying to make the character models look way more realistic when they didn't need to. Obviously, the characters do still have a bit of, like, realism applied. They're not quite like the Legends ZA models, but they're still leaning more into the anime aesthetic. This is a bit more realistic, but it's much more in line with Pokemon's usual art style, which I do appreciate more, because I found the freaking Scarlet Violet models a little uncanny because of the fact they were trying to be a bit real while also still being stylized. Like, I don't like it when you try to have an art style that's weirdly between stylized and realistic. It's like, go one way or the other. Either, like, embrace the stylization or embrace the realistic. Don't try to, like, blend the two, in my opinion. That's just my weird art opinion. I like how both look. Like, both of them have pretty neat basic designs. They don't look bad, and obviously this is just base appearances, because hopefully we are going to have pretty thorough customization. That is what I'm begging. I am begging. Please, Game Freak, do not reduce us back to Scarlet and Violet. We have core base outfits that are, like, set based on colors dependent on the version we have, and then render, like, half of the accessory options basically useless because none of them will, like, act a complement or color match the outfits we do get. Please, please, please do not put us back to that. I'm begging, Game Freak, please don't do that to us again. So we still, now we're gonna play the game of, like, what Pokemon can I recognize from what games. So we have Tailo here. Ooh, Tailo in the wild now again. That's actually neat. Who is you off in the distance there? Is that? It's a frog, but I can't tell what it is. It's too blurry. No, it's a bug. Is that? Yeah, I can't tell what that is. Then we have our new Pokemon centers, and again, I'm sure if anyone here who sees this video happens to be from Southeast Asia, please, in the comments, pop off about every little thing that you recognize from where you live, because I know absolute jack shit about Southeast Asia, so I am, like, going into this culturally blind to any of the references that are being snuck in here about, like, general culture, vibes, architecture, like, the general way people live and have all that stuff. I am completely blind. So if you are Southeast Asian and you see this video and you want to leave a comment, just go off. Go off about all the shit that you've seen in the trailer. I'm very interested to hear what all of this is, because I do not know what any of it is. Again, on the water, most of the Pokemon games have had water that's basically just like a flat plane, but this is like, let's put it this way. I have a Switch 2 now, right? I have a Switch 2. Let me reach over and grab that. So I have a Switch 2 now. I don't know why I'm showing it off as if you can see it on a camera. You can't. But I have it, and it is a pretty decently strong console, I would say. Yes, hardware-wise, it's still technically behind stuff like the PS5 and Xbox Series X, but it's still pretty powerful. It's still pretty good. Does a good job with a lot of stuff. Like, the games on it can look good now, and I mean, shit, dude. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet at an actually stable 60 FPS and shit like that. Ooh, godsend. Like, this was a good investment. I will say this. The Switch 2 is a good investment if you are, like, looking to upgrade from, like, a Switch Lite, or, like, if you have a Switch Lite, get a Switch 2. Don't just jump to a Switch 2. If you have an OLED, maybe make it last as long as you can, but, you know, there are some games, obviously, that won't be coming out on it because the hardware is different. Like, I mean, I still have my OLED, but I'm debating if I want to, like, sell it, or, let me put that back. Like, I still have my OLED, but I'm debating if I want to keep it or sell it for, or, like, keep it for collection purposes, because it is the Scarlet and Violet Special Edition, but, you know. Anyway, art direction-wise, this game is looking good. I said that the art direction looks to be on point, and it does look like they're trying to actually improve, like, the graphical fidelity as much as they can to make the environments look actually pretty decent, as they're trying to, like, actually make use of the hardware more. Like, look at this! Look at this shit! If this was, like, if this was on the Switch, like, if this was Scarlet and Violet, you would not get this kind of reflective water surface that lets you see into the reef below, all this stuff. Though, okay. There's another question I have, though. Seeing, like, this is just a general plane. This isn't obviously the whole game. This is probably just, like, one island or one main location. So we don't know what the region looks like yet, so we can't make too many assumptions, so that's kind of what I want to reserve. I want to reserve a lot of thoughts, for as we go when they reveal more stuff, like what's the name of the region, what does its map look like, because they do kind of tend to drip feed us that up until release, where they kind of reveal more and more about the general thing of like, hey, here's what to expect, yada yada. So I wonder if it's going to be this spread out, or if we're going to have like maybe a central like city or two on some other island. Meanwhile, you have all of this where it's more spread out, like island resort stuff. So it does make me wonder whether this is like the same big island or a different one, but I do hope we get like some central city or something. Because, like, you know, it would be interesting to have that in a Pokemon game that looks like this at this scale. The lighting, too, man. Like, each of these... Let's go back through this. Like, even the lighting. Like, the lighting is actually pretty good. Even from this, like, reveal footage. Like, yo, like, I would say that, like, okay. As much as I don't dog on Scarlet and Violet as much as I would, some other people would, Scarlet and Violet's lighting is very basic and rudimentary and standard. It's kind of normal, but this is like, yo, like it's definitely not ray tracing. It's definitely like baked in lighting elements. But the Slugma, my boy Slugma, has his own lighting around him to represent the glow of his magma bottle. That's never been a thing. That's never been a thing in Pokemon games until now. What the fuck? Like, I saw this and I thought about it, and it's like, damn, okay. Rika! Yeah, so this does make me think, okay, we're definitely going to go back to, okay. The Legends Pokemon games, I do think, are where they experiment with the gameplay a bit, where they're trying to be a bit more experimental, free-form, whatever, which is why we have, like, Legends Arceus with its more, like, kind of, like, more free from roaming around, but also a turn-based system where you can kind of manipulate everything, versus Legends ZA, which is a wide open field, very Xenoblade-esque, I would say, cooldown-based combat system, which is very fun, I will say, very fun, very engaging. But core Pokemon, I think, is always going to remain turn-based, like the main core turn-based theme, because that is what people are familiar with, that's what always comes out, that's what people grew up with and expect every year, especially the kids, let's be totally honest. So that, I do think we're going to be going from that. We are going to stick to like turn-based gameplay footage in general. So that is kind of my thoughts going off initial thought. I don't think they're going to divert too much from that. Robbie! They're really, okay. They're really using the chance from this also to bring in a lot of the aquatic Pokemon. Like, there's going to be so many water types from every generation in this game, isn't there? Just off this premise alone, it looks like anything that's tied to, like, islands, water, anything that they can throw in, going to be in this game, probably, in, like, the base decks. I mean, a swampland, too. I am so interested now, seeing all these different, because, like, we have, like, the beaches, we have the main tropical island, we have this, a swampland, we have a volcano. Are these all part of some similar landmass, or is it like a Lola where we're going to have different islands to explore and everything? Because there's another part that I'm very interested in that will be coming up soon. Then we have Volcano, we have Night. I saw, okay, this, before I nuked my Twitter, I saw people going off about this house, that this is, like, very specific to Southeast Asia, and, like, how homes look, how their style, all this other stuff. So people are like, oh, yeah, they did their homework. So, again, if you are Southeast Asian and you want to yap in the comments, please do. I am vastly interested in what this means to y'all. Oh, our starter boys. Okay, we need to talk about them. Okay, we need to talk about the boys. Look at the lads. Look at the lads. Look at them. Okay, I'm gonna be straight up. I am one of the people who is immediately on the Pom Bomb game. We'll talk about them individually in a second. Okay, Brown. I do not dislike Mr. Grass Burb. He looks funny. This is a thing where I do want to see more of the evolutions, because I know they're going to reveal them as time goes on. But Brout has the funny thing of, like, I've seen it said, he looks like a combination of the Duolingo bird and an angry bird, which is funny. It's so funny. There's been a ton of memes about him being, like, tough as hell, too. It's really funny, purely based on the leaf eyebrows. But, look, if you think I'm not selecting Pom Bomb based purely off of this first impression of this little guy, you don't know me. You don't know what I'm about when it comes to Pokemon, okay? Look, my favorite is stupid little guy with no brain cells. And you're giving me 2 gens in a row where the fire starter is a stupid little guy with no thoughts. I'm picking the fire starter. My one, it's a fire Pomeranian. Already, I'm a dog guy, okay? I'm a dog guy. I like my dogs. I literally have one sleeping behind me right now. Not a Pomeranian. It's a fucking red healer. But, beside the point, you give me a fire Pomeranian that looks this stupid. I'ma pick him. I just pray his evolutions stick to understand the mission and just keep him dumb as bricks while he gets fluffier. That's Nintendo. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, keep the dog on all fours, please. Keep the dog. The lizard can be furry bait. The dog, this better not be. I don't care if the lizard is furry bait. We'll talk about the lizard in a second. This needs to stay on all fours. He needs to get fluffier. And he needs to remain dumb as bricks. I don't care if he just becomes a different dog breed in every evolution. He needs to remain dumb as bricks with no thoughts behind those eyes. Okay, Game Freak? Okay, Nintendo? We have an understanding? Okay, cool. Pombon? Dumb as bricks. Keep him that way. Anyway. Gekwa, the littlest pet shop looking ass. Okay, this is fine. I actually don't dislike this. But okay. I'm interested in what they're gonna do with it. Because I don't get at first. Okay, primary evolutions have done a thing where they don't really do a lot to tell you what their evolution line might look like as they go, because usually the base evolution is meant to be like the cute little mascot meant to get the kids interested in buying the game. So usually their designs are, you know, much more soft, round, stuff like that now, especially as Pokemon tries to go for more mass appeal. So I don't know what Gekwa is gonna be. This is kind of one of the things where you can't really tell what the theme is going into it. But it looks fine. It does look like a Littlest Pet Shop figure, though, and I am never going to unsee it. That's just what Gekwa looks like. Okay, this is what makes me think this is going to be about an island chain. Like this right here, this is confirmed to me that this is going to be about an island chain, and I think each island is going to fit some, like, locale-based theme with, like, the people who live on it, all that stuff. Again, it's going to be kind of like a Lola, I think, where every island fits a different biome and environment theme like that. Maybe they draw a little bit of different cultural inspiration from another part of Southeast Asia, in the same way that different islands of Alola draw from different aspects of Hawaii and all of that stuff. So I do think that's going to be interesting to show this, and why I think this is going to be about different island chains, because there might be the same, obviously, where we have like smaller little islands here and there between the bigger islands and all this stuff. So it's definitely going to be an island chain of some kind. The question is, how big is it? Also, that cloud looks like a Dreepy. Maybe. I can't tell, but it does look like a Pokemon. Oh, here it comes. Motherfuckers is diving back. I saw this, my first viewing of the trailer, and immediately I was like, do not motherfucker. If we get diving again, let me tell you, we have not had diving in a mainline game. I'm not counting the Ranger games. I'm not counting the Ranger games, because the Ranger games did have diving. We have not had diving as a mechanic in the Pokemon games since Gen 3. Since Gen 3 and the Gen 3 remakes and Gen 6. So, and that was obviously like a very specific thing, because keep in mind, because Hoenn was based on the Okinawan Islands, so obviously you had a lot of water. Again, 7.8 out of 10, too much water. And so the dive segments were meant to be an expression of the fact of the more tropical Ryukyu Islands basis and all that stuff. So if we have diving again, this is gonna be some crazy shit, dude. I'm very, like, look at, we have an underwater reef environment, dude. They are, please tell me they're gonna cook. I'm begging you, Game Freak, please cook with this. I don't care if I'm part of the problem. I'm going to buy this. Yeah, no, look at this, dude. Look at that. There's our logo. Winds and waves. Yep. Global simultaneous release in 2027. Okay. So we're gonna linger on that image. We're gonna linger on the image, but I am gonna move myself in front of it a little bit more. So that thought in mind. Like I said, I don't care. I'm gonna be part of the problem. This video's title is probably dependent on the A/B testing. It's gonna be some variant of it. We will see. But my thoughts are very much that. I'm interested. It looks like Game Freak is cooking. The art direction looks to be on point, and it looks like they're actually trying to make use of the hardware as best as they can. So yes, I'm interested. I am going to buy this day one if possible. I don't care. I have been part of the problem with Pokemon my entire life. This has not changed. It will never change. I don't care if I'm almost 30. So, yeah, okay. Though, as it goes, okay, you know what? Actually, I do want to go a little bit more. I do want to talk about, like, a little bit more in depth. This is actually, no, okay. Okay, no, there is nothing after this to hint at any idea. So, obviously, with all of this stuff, I just want to be on my boy. Okay, look. The interest I have is the fact it does look like they're actually doing a lot more, right? Like, it does seem like there's going to be a lot coming out of this. This is just a sneak preview, obviously, and I think as we get more videos, maybe as we get more trailers or stuff like that, I will talk about them as we go. But off this initial impression, yeah, no, I'm going to resume to be part of the problem. I will repeat it ad nauseum. So, until next, I will see any of y'all who see this in the comments. Until next time, bye-bye.